game this week. Everyone else will practice, and which would include Dewan Smoot, Javon Solomon, and Casey Toohill. So they'll all practice and be out there, and you guys can take it from there.
Are there any new updates on Terrell potentially going on IR?
No new information right now. We just keep taking it one day at a time.
Are you optimistic on Smoot after not having him for the 2 weeks to get him back out there?
I think we'll see, Sal, how it looks today, and just take it one day at a time and see how the week goes.
That's a guy playing against his former team too, can probably be a bit motivated. You think so? Is that you hoping for that, maybe for that reason too, to get him back out there?
I mean, he's a pro, so I think right now just putting one foot in front of the other, no pun intended, with his injury, but just taking today and focusing in on today and getting him back into the mix here.
At the start of a weird week, Thursday, the following Monday. How'd you go about deciding this practice schedule this week?
Just trying to keep it as normal as possible and focus on our team and focus on how we can best improve ourselves and get ourselves where we need to be. Just trying to improve 1 week at a time, one day at a time here.
Knowing that it's next man up, but I'm sure at the start of training camp, even going into August before the Pittsburgh practice, you were looking forward to seeing Terrell and Matt and seeing what they could do. What's it like now going into this game, not having either of them, and where does Nick Morrow fit in this whole mix?
Yeah, Nick's right there. It's an opportunity for Balin and Dorian to work together, and like they did in the back half of the game, or really the majority of the game the other night. So another opportunity for someone to step up, opportunity for Nick as well, and his role that he currently is in, and I think he's done a nice job to this point.
Do you anticipate Balin starting?
Yes.
What gives you the confidence that these two youngsters, are capable of holding that job, even though these two guys are tough to replace?
Yeah, they are tough to replace. They just got to go in and be themselves, and we will play well around them, and they did a nice job last week, but they're focused on this week and again today's practice and just really learning the game plan for this week here.
Sean, how much do you think it matters that the players you've had to rely on as replacements, and you starting safeties, are all guys that have been in this system for a while? They haven't necessarily been starters, but they've been with you in your defense for a number of years.
I think that's important. That you're talking about continuity there. Experience, reps in this system. Jamarcus, being another example of that, right? So that's important, and it allows those guys to know what we do, how we want it done, the style of play we want to play with, and then some level of comfort with them being out there from the time they've put on the field they've had on the field with their teammates. I know they may not have been starters, but they've played alongside of some of the other guys that are out there.
There are a couple kickers in this week for a workout. Where do things stand with Tyler, and what went into the decision to kind of bring in a couple guys to look at?
Yeah, just keeping an eye on things like we do at every position, and we remain confident in Tyler and what he's doing, and what we are confident what he'll continue to do for us going forward.
What stands out when you watch the Jacksonville defense?
I think they're well coached, extremely well coached. They play extremely hard. Their front is a headache, and they do a lot of good things up front. Really good personnel up front, really good personnel across the team, for that matter. And they're playing hard, and through 2 games they haven't allowed a whole lot of points there. So we've got to make sure we've got a good week of practice starting today.
So when it comes to having guys to develop in your system, how much better is the way you and Brandon work together now than maybe the first 2 or 3 years you guys were together when it comes to identifying players that you want that work well here that you can develop over multiple years?
Yeah, I think that relationship of the head coach and the GM, like any good situation, it's important that it continues to grow and develop and get stronger. And I would say that that's been the case for Brandon and my relationship. So from just a relationship standpoint to a understanding of what we want, what we need, and how the game is also evolving, from 2017 when we first came in together. So that's been enjoyable to be a part of, and certainly appreciate Brandon with that.
You talked highly last week about, I mean, we've seen Jordan Poyer and getting a chance to see him. This week or next week, Monday, is going to be Mitch Morrison and Davis, two valuable guys. What will it be like to see them with another uniform on, given the roles that they had here? And what will it be like to see them in another uniform?
Yeah, I wish those guys well. Two studs as it relates to what they added here, and two guys that I loved being around, and we loved having here, that helped us, have the success that we had when they were here in particular. And like as you mentioned with Jordan and Micah, and those two have left a mark on our organization in a good way, and as well. And we're happy that they're happy and their families are happy. So we want the best for them.
Sean, I recognize that they're on opposite sides of the field pretty often, but how have you seen Christian and Rasul work so well together? Maybe that's in practice or in the meeting rooms.
It seems like they've formed a nice little bond off the field as well, Jay, and I think that's important. Rasul's been in the league a little bit longer than CB, and he can share some of his wisdom with CB and how things work and the journey, right, of an NFL corner. So that's been interesting and fun to watch, and I think it's helped CB as well, and maybe in some ways helped Rasul as well, just getting CB's thoughts on some things, maybe playing specifically in this defense, since he's actually been in it a little bit longer than Rasul.
How have you seen James Cook continue to grow his game now, AFC offensive player?
Yeah, so steady. His day-to-day approach is so steady, focused on what he needs to do to improve, and really just, again, a delight to watch a young man come here from South Florida and really embrace Buffalo and the community, and focus, really hone in on his job and what he's trying to do. I know it means a lot to him to do his part, and that's what you're seeing unfold here.
James got Offensive Player of the Week, second straight week that your team gets the Offensive Player of the Week. Went through so many changes on offense, losing some wide receivers, changes up front of the offensive line. What does it say about your team to be able to produce such explosive performances week after week, going through such a distinct transition as you have?
Yeah, I think we had Defensive Player of the Week maybe in week one. I'm not mistaken. Defense in week one,
yeah.
offense in week two. That's okay. No, I mean, it's good individual honors, but I think overall, those honors don't happen by themselves, right? So, but it's great recognition for those guys. Those two guys work extremely hard, and I know they're set on improving each and every week. So happy to see those guys get acknowledged.
Hey, Sean, obviously the game script for Miami was different for Josh, but overall, throughout the league, why does it look like passing is so much harder in the NFL? What's going on? It used to be guys could put up 300 yards routinely, and that's not happening right now.
Yeah, I think the league is growing. It's changing, evolving, if you will, as well. And rosters are built in some ways maybe a little bit different than they used to be built, and schematics have changed a little bit as well. So I think with that, you're seeing the game change then as well.
In terms of rosters being built, what do you mean by that? What's different about the roster building that would affect the passing game?
Some people are getting smaller, some people aren't. In terms of the way they're constructing defenses, we could be here for an hour and have this, back and forth conversation. It'd be a good conversation, because I think that's part of, a philosophical approach that is maybe slightly different around the league, team to team, but yet in some ways remains the same over the years, right, for some of us. So, yeah.
When you're facing a team like Jacksonville that has very high expectations, finds itself 0-2, probably being criticized from all directions, do you, is it when you set the tone for the team at the start of the week, do you spend any time talking about the need to match their desperation, energy level, or what you're expecting from that regard?
They're a good team. Yeah, they're a good team, and we respect every team that we play. And I think that's where it starts and that's where it ends. We have a lot of respect for the Jaguars.
Hey, Sean, Brian Thomas has already made a couple big plays at receiver for Jacksonville. What stands out about him on tape?
Yeah, really good player. Obviously picked where he was for a reason. You see the talent on film, even at this level early. A big splash player or two in the first week, another 2 or 3 in the second week against Cleveland. First week against Miami, 2 good defenses. So, he's off to a good start.
Sean, last year, 5 of your losses were to teams in the playoffs. Several of them were struggling at the time they played you. Is that a concern for you when you look at, applying that to the Jacksonville game or any other game you would have against a struggling team when you look at that pattern?
Yeah, I don't think it's a pattern necessarily. I know why you're saying that. We respect every opponent. It's important in this league with the amount of parity that's in the league that you keep your focus where it needs to be, and you concentrate on your game, right? Us individually, us collectively as a team. Like I said, every week in the NFL is anybody's game. So we understand the challenge that's in front of us this week.
How would you describe the evolution of your philosophy on secondary play from your first year as a coordinator to now, just in terms of being able to stay up with the trends and still be among the league leaders in interceptions every year?
Yeah, I feel like, over the years, and this is some of what I was alluding to on Sal's question earlier about as much as things have changed, things still stay the same. Just fortunate to grow up, if you will, around Jim Johnson in Philadelphia and his defensive philosophy and the way we put our rosters together back then with how we constructed things, what we valued, what positions we valued, and what type of body type or athlete we were looking for. And so I'm just fortunate and grateful that I grew up around that type of environment led by Jim Johnson.
Is that body type, that athlete, is that still the same now as it was 15 years ago?
I think to some extent, for the most part, yes. It's probably subtly changed a little bit, but for the most part, yes. All right, thanks, guys.